You don't expect to be attacked for simply walking your dog in your own front yard, especially when that dog is a federally protected service animal. But that's exactly what happened to me when I moved into Sunnyside Estates. A picture-perfect, suburban neighborhood ruled by an iron-fisted HOA president with a chip on her shoulder and a clipboard in her hand. I didn't move here looking for a fight. I came for peace, healing, and a quiet place to live with Maverick, my golden retriever, my service dog, my lifeline. But Karen Whitfield had other plans. What she didn't know, the law was on my side. And when she crossed the line, literally and legally, she learned the hard way that not even HOA rules can override federal protections. This is the story of how one entitled woman took things too far and ended up in jail because of it. After returning from deployment overseas, all I wanted was a fresh start, somewhere quiet, clean, and stable. Sunnyside Estates seemed perfect. Good schools, trimmed lawns, clean sidewalks, and a promise of community standards that supposedly kept the peace. I didn't think I'd end up needing a lawyer just to walk my dog. Maverick isn't just a dog. He's a trained service animal who helps me manage PTSD. I rely on him every day, and he's saved me more times than I can count. With his red service vest, calm demeanor, and sharp discipline, Maverick is the very picture of professionalism. Unfortunately, Karen Whitfield saw something else. After returning from deployment overseas, all I wanted was a fresh start, somewhere quiet, clean, and stable. Sunnyside Estates seemed perfect. Good schools, trimmed lawns, clean sidewalks, and a promise of community standards that supposedly kept the peace. I didn't think I'd end up needing a lawyer just to walk my dog. Maverick isn't just a dog. He's a trained service animal who helps me manage PTSD. I rely on him every day, and he's saved me more times than I can count. With his red service vest, calm demeanor, and sharp discipline, Maverick is the very picture of professionalism. Unfortunately, Karen Whitfield saw something else. Within the first month, I received 3 violation notices. My grass was half an inch too tall. My garbage can was visible for 43 minutes after pickup. My mailbox paint wasn't the HOA-approved shade of black. Each notice bore Karen's elaborate signature, complete with a passive-aggressive smiley face. I complied with every petty request. I just wanted to keep the peace. But her next move made it personal. At the next HOA meeting, Karen proposed a new rule. All animals, including service animals, had to be registered with the HOA and wear HOA approved tags. I raised my hand to voice a concern. That would be a violation of federal law, I said. Service animals are exempt. Karen cut me off. Federal laws don't override community standards. She was wrong, and dangerously so. It was a quiet Saturday morning. I was reading the paper on my porch. Maverick was lying beside me, calm as ever. That's when I heard the sound of Karen's flip-flops approaching. She stood at the edge of my lawn, spray bottle in hand. "Your dog is violating HOA pet ID policy," she barked. I stood. "Maverick is a service animal. That policy doesn't apply." "We'll see about that." Before I could react, she lifted the bottle and sprayed Maverick in the face. He yelped, staggered backward, pawing at his eyes. I stepped between them. "What the hell is in that?" "Just vinegar and water," she smirked. "Won't hurt him, but maybe now he'll learn to follow the rules." I took Maverick inside, flushed his eyes, and made sure he was okay. Then I called 911. When the officers arrived, I told them everything. I showed them Maverick's service dog certification, his training records, and pointed across the street. Karen didn't deny it. She said she was enforcing HOA rules. The officers weren't impressed. They explained that interfering with a service animal is a federal crime under the ADA. It also constitutes animal cruelty under state law. They asked me if I wanted to press charges. Absolutely. Karen was arrested on the spot, still ranting about how the neighborhood would turn against me, but they didn't. One neighbor whispered, "She finally crossed the line." Another came up to me afterward. "We should have stood up sooner. I'm sorry." Karen was charged with multiple offenses: interfering with a service animal, federal animal cruelty, state harassment. She arrived in court dressed to impress, but no outfit could cover her guilt. Her high-priced attorney looked exhausted. The EI judge was firm. Community rules do not and will never override federal protections for people with disabilities. Karen took a plea deal: 30 days in jail, $5,000, fine, 200 hours of community service, ironically, at an animal shelter. Mandatory education on disability rights. At the HOA's emergency meeting, the board voted her out unanimously. She left her title behind, and for the first time the neighborhood felt free. Maverick and I still live in Sunnyside Estates. We walk the same trails, sit on the same porch, but the tension is gone. People wave now. They stop to pet Maverick, to ask about his training. They thank me for standing up. Karen, she served her time and moved away. The law she tried to ignore became the very thing that stopped her. Sometimes standing your ground doesn't mean raising your voice. Sometimes it just means knowing your rights and refusing to be bullied, especially when you're not just protecting yourself, but the loyal partner who protects you. Maverick leans into my hand as I scratch behind his ears. Calm, loyal, untouchable, and this time it's our community that knows better.